when Grandma and I had to climb, and I remember thinking if anybody was going to left behind too with me, with Grandma. So I called Grandma.
And she didn't answer the
She
phone.
didn't answer the phone either. It's like Grandma got to go when I was still. Oh, that was horrible. It was hours before she ever walked back in the door. I'm like, because I knew all the people, everybody was gone. You've been really bad. Yes, thank you. Grandma always reminded me how bad I was. I was bad. Thank you.
That's always one of the big conversations at Carla's house, is I still can't believe that she passed away. She was going to go in the rapture.
In the
And I mean,
rapture.
she still talks of that, you know, she grew up that way, you know, and, so yeah, that
Here's
was always
Michael,
funny.
39.
I'll give you an update on the rest of our kids. Malachi is in nursing school in Springfield, and, oh, no, I'm sorry, at SBU, actually. And he should graduate in May. Drew, our youngest, just had a baby 8 weeks ago, today.
Oh, congratulations.
And he's,
Still
she's got a
boys.
picture of him.
Still boys. Still boys.
Yeah, we're getting all boys.
All boys.
That's okay with me. And Michael does have a boy that's 2, just turned 2 last month. And the boy that we took in, Nate, him and his wife live in Pennsylvania. And he's still in the Marine Reserves, and they're both in school. So no kids from them yet.
Well, no, they have grandpuppies.
Oh yeah, we have grandfather.
Grandpuppies, and it's a boy too.
Of course. What's the new baby's name?
Dallin.
Dallin.
Yeah. Just like Dallas, only I-N instead of A-S.
Is this their first baby?
Their first baby.
Their first.
That's
Michael's got
their-
one, and Drew's got one, Malachi has one, and Nate has one.
Is Malachi, is everybody married?
Everybody's
Everybody,
married.
all 4 married.
Malachi
Yeah. she's
Oh,
is
yeah.
married, my little daughter-in-law, that's Gracie's mama,
Yes.
Malachi's married to her sister.
Okay, yes.
So, yes, it was like, I was at their,
Not reception.
no,
rehearsal.
shower.
Shower.
At the shower,
Yeah.
I was going to Becca's because it was, you know, I know Becca. And I walk in there, and there sits Jeannie, or I saw Jeannie getting out of the car ahead of me, and I thought, well, that sure looks like Jeannie, you know? And she turned around and looked around, I guess, and I thought, well, that's Jeannie, there must be more than one thing going on in this building, you know, whatever, I never even thought about it.
Little building.
And then, yeah, it was about this big around, but anyway, and I get in there and I'm going like, okay, so there's Janine, and there's, you know, what's going on here,
And there's men here.
you know,
There's a wedding shower, and there's men here.
and so that's only our family on the whole planet, I think, does that, but.
I know, and everybody.
But it was just really funny because I realized that Becca was married, so that was fun.
That's ridiculous. Everybody, that's everything we do. I guess we have to have men. Well, of course we have to have men. Of course we do. Of course we do. Party without the men.
Janine, do you have any more memories you want to share?
I remember, I don't remember all the stories. I know you guys are so far over my head.
You
Like
can
I
have by
said,
age.
It had to be that exact.
I don't think that. Well, what was the first thing I said when I walked in the door and you came in and saw me? I said, I don't know anybody here. I know you and Dana. Where's Dana?
And then I started pointing out people and she said, oh yeah, I know them. Oh yeah, I know them. I know them. So you do know
Well,
everybody.
yeah, in time, but so as far as memories, but I do remember way back when going to your mom and dad's house, and I always wanted strawberry shortcake, and that was the big thing, is to get to go. Of course, Grandpa was always there because that was Grandpa's sister, and it was special for him, but then Grandma was always there too, and that wasn't always so special for me. But getting by that, and, you know, getting the strawberry shortcake, I do remember that, and your dad in the other room, 'cause he'd always be stretched out in his chair, And then Martha,
Recliner, always, always.
but I got my strawberry shortcake. So that was a big thing, is to go and get the strawberries and have the strawberry shortcake.
I don't even know how many times I saw your dad walk. It's always like he was in the recliner.
Yeah, I didn't know
It
who
was-
walked.
I thought he had a recliner on his back.
Well, I knew he had to walk because I would always, for whatever reason, when I got off the bus, Mama had a shop downtown and I would get off the bus. And my routine was to get off the bus, go drop off my stuff at her shop, walk to the donut shop, and walk across the street to Berkeley's station. And he'd always be in there and he.
Sitting down.
Yeah, sitting in his recliner or his chair.
It kind of reclined. It
But,
kind
yeah, well, it was always kicked back, you know,
Kicked back.
so I.
Yeah.
That's all I remember, you know, so I knew you had to walk from point A to point B, but I'm not sure how it got there. But I do remember going with your mom once, because she needed to go collect tickets for him. And I remember she took me way out Timbuktu, I had no idea where it was or where I was going. I'm familiar with him, with that when we go do business. But I vaguely remember
This is,
a little bit, but I think he say why, and I said, because I remember Martha, we went once to collect tickets for Berkeley, and we were way out here or something, I do remember that. So as
That
far
was
as,
in Holt, actually.
Yeah.
yeah, so, and then there was, you know, so as far as memories, you know, of people and stuff, I don't have a lot of them.
Well, I just thought of one of Janine, when she was over there talking. We were all out at your mom and dad's, Martha and Berkeley's, and Berkeley was in the recliner, had his shoes off, had his feet crossed, eating peanuts. And we were all talking or watching television or something, and something was said about Indians. I don't remember what it was, but Martha or somebody said something about Berkeley being part Indian. And Janine was sitting on the floor, and she turned around and looked at him, and her mouth dropped open, and she just kept looking, and everybody kept talking, and finally she came over and whispered in my ear, and she says, "What kind of an Indian is he?" And I said, "I don't know. I knew he was part Indian, you know, that was the big talk, and but I didn't know what kind." So she kept looking at him, and he asked her what was wrong, and she said, "What kind of an Indian are you?" And he said, "Blackfoot," just real fast, "Blackfoot." And of course, he was sitting there without any shoes on, but he had his socks on. So her eyes dropped down to his feet.
Black socks?
Oh.
And the whole night she was in a state of shock because he wasn't only part Indian, he was part Blackfoot. And she just couldn't understand that.
Back to the rapture thing, I remember, I really think my mom was hanging on. She was absolutely waiting for the
That was the thing between your mom and me. Every Monday night, we said, when we had dinner, we always talked about going in the rapture. And I don't remember if you might remember if it was the last time we saw her. And she said, "Jeannie, I'm sorry," but she said, "Unless you hurry, I'm going to beat you in the rapture." And I remember saying, "It's all right," you know. But I know that was either the last night or the night before she passed away.
Well, when she was still in the nursing home, she had a tooth that was bothering her. And it was bothering her a lot, and so I was going to take her to the dentist. Which I don't know what I was originally thinking, because she would use a walker, and she was kind of using a wheelchair too. But I thought, well, I'll just get her in the car, and then when we get there will probably be a wheelchair. Well, getting her in the car was kind of an ordeal, because my car was kind of high, so I remember wheeling her to the car and then trying to push her into the car, you know. We got her in there, and there was a wheelchair in the dentist office, got her into the wheelchair, wheeled her into the dentist, and I said, can you just treat her in the wheelchair? And he said, yes. Got to the dentist, and he came right out, and he said, Myrna, we've got a problem. I went in there, and he said, she passed out. He said, I don't know what's wrong. And I said, Mom, I mean, she was unresponsive. And we called 911, and I mean, I was scared to death. She was gone. And the ambulance came, and it was a terrifying thing because he said, then they started asking those questions. Do you want to, resuscitate her? And I thought, don't ask me those questions. Those are written down, but anyway, I
We
said,
just need her too.
I know, it's just, I'm not prepared for this, David's not here, and I said, I knew we had a DNR, but I said, no. And it was just very difficult to make that decision alone, it was very difficult. I wasn't prepared for that, we were in the hospital, all that kind of stuff, and so I really thought that she would be gone by the time we got to the hospital. And when we were there, she revived. And the guy said, I've never seen that. He said she had, her pulse rate was so low and the whole bit. She had revived. Just typical mom, Wait, the rapture has not happened. I am not
Just hold
ready. And got into the ER and talked with her, and I said, Mom, I thought you were going to heaven today. And she goes, well, I can tell you this, if that's death, it doesn't hurt. She said,
I have one quick story on Martha. Her and I would talk politics occasionally. And I remember one of the things she said that I've always remembered. I don't see how anybody can vote Democrat and be a Christian. And,
sometimes I hear these stories, I don't even
and
believe
that
that.
stuck in my heart.
I almost got fired from the school because I truly believe that, but I said that to the,
Principal.
what's above the principal? Superintendent. I said that, well, he was the principal and the superintendent, but we used to have lots of conversations and about the Lord and about the Bible and different things, but I really sincerely meant it, and I said, I don't understand, how anybody can be a Democrat and be a Christian. And that kind of ended our conversations. It definitely limited them. And
Only Martha can get away with stuff like that, Mom,
You're gonna
not
have
you.
that uninhibited thing going first.
well, but I truly believe it. I truly believe it. And if it offends any of you, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. I mean,
Don't offend me, I just
flashing right
well, I think it's sad that it's come to that, actually. But
Especially when they believe in killing babies.
yes.
Well, anyway, I'm not quite finished with the story about Mom.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so
sorry.
I said, she said, I said, well, what would you think about that? Because the doctor had said to us, that we would bring her to the emergency room, when things like that would happen, and he said, well, you gotta look at what your motive is here. Are you trying to prolong her life, or, and Dana and I really kind of thought about that at that time, and he said, there's time just to let go. And so I was talking to her. The doctor said, you really need to let her know it's okay to let go. And I said, what would you think about that if you had passed away? She goes, well, I'd hate to leave you girls. And I said, yeah, but you'd see Dad, and you'd see Chelsea, and you'd see your mom and Dad. She goes, yeah, I guess that'd be all right. And do you know, within a month, she was gone. And I really think there came a point that she had to decide, it's okay to go on to heaven, rather than try to hang on to earth, It was just kind of and she never mentioned her tooth again. It never hurt anymore.
Y'all are too young, but I remember when Grandma Davison was, Grandpa had died in January. And this was she was bedridden, and it was probably a month before she died, and she wouldn't take the medication. She said, nope. And I said, Mommy, why don't you just go to probably Bessie, because she was a little more tender than the rest of them. So, Mommy, just take it. We want you to be healthy. She said, no. She said, I'm not. She said, John's waiting on me. I've got to go. That was it. It took her a little while longer to go, but she definitely decided that John was, she said, he's standing there waiting. She said, I'm ready. And that was it.